So Egypt's in a really tough spot right now. We're talking a major dollar shortage, inflation is through the roof, the economic pressure is just immense. So what's their big play? Well, they're making this massive, multi-billion-dollar bet on one single thing: aluminum.
I mean, it's a huge gamble, right? But it looks like it's a gamble they're willing to take, which brings us to the big question. Can one metal really turn around an entire country's economy? Let's dive in and see.
All right, so in the next few minutes, we're going to unpack this whole strategy. We'll look at why big players like the UAE and Bahrain are jumping in with huge investments and what exactly makes aluminum so incredibly valuable, not just for Egypt, but, for the whole world.
Okay, so to really get what's happening now, we've got to go back, way back. The whole story really kicks off in the south of Egypt, at a place that became, well, the very heart of the country's industrial ambitions.
The spot they chose for the Nag Hammadi complex, that was no accident. It was actually a brilliant strategic move. Think about it. They built it right near the Aswan High Dam. Why? For the massive amounts of cheap electricity you need for aluminum. Plus, it was close to Port Safago, which made it super easy to bring in raw materials and then ship out the finished product. So this was never just about a factory. It was a huge statement about industrial security being crucial for the nation.
So you can kind of see the whole journey right here. It all starts in '69. Then by '83, they've expanded enough to start exporting. Fast forward to 2010, they do this big modernization, hitting a peak capacity of 320,000 tons a year. But by 2022, things started to show their age. The equipment was getting old, costs were going up, and it was pretty clear it was time for another massive overhaul. And that overhaul, that's exactly what brings us to today's huge project. See, the new strategy isn't just about patching up old problems. Nope, it's about building a completely new future for the industry. And it all rests on three main pillars. So here's the game plan, and it's pretty powerful in its simplicity. 1. Modernize the original giant, that Nag Hammadi complex. 2. Forge some really strong new partnerships in the region. And 3. A big one. Solve the critical energy puzzle. Let's break each one down. Okay. Pillar 1, modernization. And we're talking about a huge injection of cash here, $450 million. This is not just a fresh coat of paint. We're talking a complete overhaul, new furnaces, upgraded environmental systems, the whole shebang. And it's all kicking off in late 2025 to bring this industrial giant back to life. Now, Egypt isn't trying to do all this alone. That's where Pillar 2 comes in, building these powerful alliances. First up, they're partnering with the UAE. The plan? A brand new factory near a port, pumping out 250,000 tons a year. That's going to slash transport costs and make exports way faster. Then there's the partnership with Bahrain. This is a massive $1.9 billion plant in Safaga, and its job is to process the raw bauxite ore, the rock you get aluminum from. So you see the strategy, right? One partner helps with getting the final product out, the other helps secure the raw materials coming in. It's a really smart, comprehensive approach.
But look, none of this works. None of it, if they don't tackle the single biggest cost: energy. Just look at this number. A whopping 37% of the cost to make aluminum is just electricity. That's insane. If Egypt wants to compete on the world stage and bring in those dollars it so desperately needs, that number has to come down, period.
So what's the solution? Well, it's twofold. Go green and get smart. They're building a new 150 megawatt solar power station just for the main complex. Then they're installing smart systems to track and cut down on energy waste. The end goal here is to slash their reliance on the old school power grid by 25 to 30%. I mean, that's a game changer for profitability. Okay, so you can have the most modern factories in the world. You can have all the solar panels you want, but they're basically useless without skilled people to run them. And this is where the plan gets really, really interesting. They are literally building an entire skilled workforce from scratch. It starts in technical schools with brand new courses. They've even created the first ever applied diploma specifically for aluminum manufacturing. But the real centerpiece is this new aluminum academy they're launching in Aswan. And here's the best part. Messira Aluminum has already committed to hiring 600 graduates from the academy every single year, starting in 2026. So this isn't just about getting an education, it's a direct pipeline to a real career. All right, so let's recap the plan. Modernize the old factory, partner with neighbors, solve the energy problem, and build a new generation of skilled workers. It's ambitious, for sure, but it really brings us back to that first big question. Why all this? Why aluminum? And why right now?
To get that answer, we need to zoom out.
The thing is, aluminum is one of those metals that's kind of quietly running our entire modern world. I mean, it's literally the backbone of the airline industry. We're talking 90% of most planes. It's a huge deal in construction, making up a quarter of all the aluminum used globally. And here's the kicker for the future. It is absolutely essential for the green transition. You can't build electric cars or solar panels without it. So demand isn't just holding steady, it's about to explode.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, is on record saying aluminum is going to be one of the most in-demand metals in the coming years. So what Egypt is doing here is positioning itself to ride that massive wave. The goal? To create this huge new stream of export money, bringing in the hard currency, the dollars that they need to get their economy back on track.
So that's where things stand. You've got all the pieces on the board: the money, the partners, the energy plan, the skilled workforce. Meanwhile, global demand is just skyrocketing. The opportunity is absolutely massive, and the clock is ticking. The only question left is, can Egypt pull it off? Can they seize this moment?